Hello.
Yo, how's it going?
Doing all right. How are you?
Pretty damn good.
Good to hear. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm super happy to hear that the games have been going well.
yeah. I hit GC, got to like 8 out of 10 wins for my rewards, and then I dropped back down to champ 3,
Mhm.
and then took a day break from the game, and then because I was like lagging, that's why I had dropped down. But I kept trying to like regain my MMR, but just kept on lagging,
Right.
and so I ended up just getting off, and then I took a day break, and then I got back on, and then instantly gained all my MMR back. Got my last 2 wins for my rewards, and now I'm like not even nervous to play anymore. Like I already know like I'm pretty far away from SSL, so I'm
Mhm.
like not nervous to play ranked anymore. Like I can just kind of queue and like experiment and like play the game to just improve instead of just focusing on trying to rank up.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. I'm like I said, I'm happy that the success has started to come pretty quick here. I mean, we're in our we're in our week 8, which marks 2/3 of the way through, and we're kind of already achieving goals we wanted by the end.
Yeah.
So it's good, and props to you because I can tell you all the information that you can acquire, but it's up to you to apply it. So very
Yeah.
happy to see it. Now, um, I know last time we talked about a few things mechanics wise. We talked about being able to use dodge control in the air. The basically the in-air speed flip
Yeah.
to regain or keep control of the ball, especially off the backboard. And I know we talked about realistic air dribbles and kind of making you better at catching the ball and creating with the ball on non-ideal bounces. How have those gone?
Those have gone pretty good. I definitely noticed more control with the flip cancels in the air, like going for like pre-flips and then just the clears off the backboard with that
Mm-hmm.
into leading into like air dribble.
Yeah.
And then the realistic air dribbles, I was grinding that pack. Like
Yeah.
I was grinding. I was trying to get like 3 shots in a row on each side, like mirroring it.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on. So I basically grinded that pack, and I think that really helps me gain the confidence to go for more aerial mechanic plays.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely helped. I got a bunch of goals using that. Um, and I started going for like ground to air dribble bumps, and so to like confirm goals. And so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's helped a lot. Just gaining my confidence and actually being able to, yeah, pretty much just gaining my confidence to be able to go for those things in game.
Right.
That's definitely helped.
Good. Is there any part of it that you consistently struggle with?
No, I wouldn't say I'm struggling. Just I'd say literally just the very first shot in the pack for me is the one where it bounces off the backboard and then bounces on the floor. Um,
Yeah.
and just getting that timing down. I found out, or I figured out if I rush, my touch isn't as consistent than if I just take it slow, and then I can get if I take it slow, I can get that consistent pop up to get the height needed.
Right.
Um, so I figured that out. That one, I guess I would say I'm just still working on the timing, trying to perfect it, get more consistent at it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, everything else I pretty much got down, just building even more consistency now.
Okay. Yeah, that one is this that one is hard. I'll demonstrate it really quick. Um, just to make sure that you're approaching it in the best way possible.
Sounds good.
This one is what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So all I'm doing on approach, you're right. Like if I'm approaching this, I'm taking it slow. Um, I am not trying to like cut this really quick and then like try to make some nice arrow to it. Like you can do that. Like that was a good attempt to be honest, but it's not what you need to do on something like this because the assumption is that you have time if you're doing this. So it's much more consistent to just do what I'm doing, where you go all the way to the right here and then slow turn and then use that double jump pop to get height, right? Now, in
Yeah.
terms of the timing of the actual pop itself, what I'm kind of focusing on, or like what I'm visually looking at, is I'm looking for my to kind of be touching it with like the top of my nose more than anything. Um, as you can see there, like I'll try to score this quick so it'll replay. Um, you're gonna see when I double jump pop, it's like touching the top of my nose, not the front of my nose.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm visually focusing on as I approach it, to try to get that timing. Because even that one was a little bit too far forward. It's okay, but a little bit too far forward. Um, yeah, That's what my eyes are trained on, as well as I'm trained on like kind of the ball indicator, and like where just the ball is in relation to me to help with that. I'm not really looking at anything else other than like being lined up towards the net. And then
Okay.
obviously I'm just focusing on hitting my double jump hard. Like you want this ball to pop high. Even that something
Yeah.
like that is fine. Like you're probably not going to score on something like this or anything, but you can still make a play out of it. You're not going to get dunked. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, just really focusing on that height, focusing on getting it kind of on the top of your hood when you double jump, and then quickly getting back up to create height is what we're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Well, and then in terms of like the things that I was talking about with you in the last review, we were talking about a few things. One, we needed you to bump more.
Yep.
Running through,
Done that.
and then also making sure that like once plays were clear, like you knew where the ball was headed, that your eyes were doing a better job of shifting to your opponents and being more aware of where they were. So, how has your experience been trying to add those things?
So like yeah, both of those two things were what I mainly have been focusing on,
Yeah.
and I feel like just focusing on those two things, that's kind of what um, has led me to win these games.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing a good job at both of the things. I'm noticing a lot more, like I'm recognizing the opportunities for me to go for bumps,
Yeah.
and I'm also recognizing, like, I'm I wouldn't say I'm recognizing more opportunities for me to just like look at the opponents. I think I'm just looking at my opponents in general more.
Right.
Um, so yeah,
Okay.
they're both those things are going fairly well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I can't remember if I said it specifically last time, but usually like just adding in consistent run throughs versus sporadic ones, and like demoing people as you rotate, that can strictly add 50 to 100 MMR to a person's elo immediately. Like, um, it really is that
Yeah,
powerful, um, and it's so essential in terms of the meta. Because honestly, like that's how people like grind up ranks without being very mechanically like skilled. Is because like if you're
yeah,
just making good decisions, aware decisions, and you're bumping people when they need to be bumped, it's becomes a lot easier to win. So um, it really is like bread and butter, like something that needs to happen every game, which I'm glad is now a priority. And then I know I also briefly said to make sure you stay up on your flicks, so that I want your flicks to be consistent. Um, uh, are those still going good? Like, are you finding that you're missing flicks? Or are they usually what you want?
yeah. My flicks are pretty good. I mainly use the catch and then get a quick diagonal flick
Yeah,
over the first man. Because I play two, so I get it over the first man, and then their second man, it normally beats me to the ball, and then basically it's setting up a play um, for me and my teammate, because then my teammate can challenge their second man,
right.
and then the first man that I flicked it over has to rotate back, and so it sets up a play. So that I would say my flicks are going good. I haven't really been. I mean, if I have an opportunity to go for a flick, like I'll go for it. But I'm mainly just using the diagonal flick to get it over to first man. That's the one I notice a lot more. That's the one I use the most,
Yeah, that's how it
and it's
normally
going
will
good.
be.
So.
Like the diagonal flick is going to be your bread and butter, the one you use all the time. Because like if I'm catching the ball here, then someone's usually ready to challenge me pretty fast, like especially in twos or in both. But people are pretty willing to go early and not give up space, so it's important to be able to do that. And yeah, once you're set up like with a bunch of space, it's nice to be able to come here and like set up a 45-degree flick or a 90-degree flick, right? But yeah, the
Yeah.
diagonal flick really is the one that you're going to see most use out of, so that's good. Okay, in terms of like what I want you to practice mechanically, like I still want you on the realistic air dribbles. What you can do, it won't work perfect with this pack, but what you can do is add Baki's mod variants to this pack to make all the things that you're doing even a little bit more like realistic. Um,
Okay.
more different bounces and things, which I recommend. Like I said, they won't all work perfect, but you can just reset the shot if the bounce isn't like usable. Um,
Gotcha.
and yeah, really that, and then kind of whatever we see in a replay we're about to go over, then we can add on top of that. But I really do want your focus still on like your aerial play and being dangerous, because that becomes really important in this GC area. And secondly, like with the realistic air dribbles, I want you to be more stingy, not about just the setup, but about like how you're executing it at the end. Like, when you end up in the spot where you've set up well, like getting the reset and actually making another touch, like instead of the reset kind of failing, or if you're just going for the air dribble, making sure this air dribble you stay under instead of it just like falling in front of net like this, right? Um, so that's kind of like the path to making them even better, is like being stingy with your results and like not accepting that I just kind of got it to the net at least, but like actually ones that um, make it all the way to the net in some sort of dangerous fashion.
Okay.
Um, another like little variation you can do as well is you can okay, you can't do it here, but I'm pretty sure you can do it in Baku's mod. You can turn on limited boost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, limit boost right here. Yeah, so now when you like end up, okay, it only stuck for one attempt.
You have to go to custom training in Bacchus mod,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
then if you change it to 100 instead of -1,
I see.
and that should work.
Oh. Yeah, so like you can like, do these with like, more limited boosts and like kind of see what it would take in game to, make something happen, right? That's something I also recommend, especially for these like
Okay.
long air dribble ones like this, where operating with limited boosts, you kind of have to make a play maybe from farther out, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You're just gonna add layers to this pack.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the replay, I can do either my most recent win
Mhm.
or I have it titled MVP to hit GC. So my GC rank up game or my most recent win.
What were the scores of those games?
Most recent win is 3-2,
Mhm.
and then the MVP to hit GC is 2-1.
Yeah,
And
let's see the
the
one hit
most
GC.
all right. I would say I was probably nervous, so I don't know if I played that good.
Well, you want
But
to do the most recent one then? Think it's more indicative?
that one is I feel like it'll be more helpful because then I'm playing comfortably. I'm not playing nervous.
Okay, we'll do the most
You know,
recent one
you know
then.
what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have a super big preference. Whatever you think will be the most like normal, like how you normally play, which it sounds like it's the most recent one.
Okay. My files is crashing. Hold on.
You're good.
It's frozen. Oh, brother. Try to force close it. All right. I don't know what's wrong with my files right now.
Did the instance fully close? Like, did you task manager it?
I'm about to.
Yeah, it's probably just a little bugged.
It keeps moving. Okay. Windows Explorer. It won't even give me the option to end it. What? Restart, maybe? Oh, God.
Man's PC is getting hacked.
Okay. Um, where is it? Steam. I'm like completely blanking on how to get to it.
I got
How
you.
to get to the replay file.
Documents,
Oh, okay. Documents, my
my
games.
games, Rocket League, TA game
Okay.
demos.
Yeah, it I think it had crashed when I clicked documents and then my games. It showed no games, and then I
Mm.
was like freaking out. I was like, where is it?
Is it good now?
Yeah, it's good. I got it.
Alright, cool.
Let me make sure. December 31st. Yeah, I've been playing threes now. Trying to hit GC in threes,
Sure.
but
It's
I might
kind of a
start
different
playing.
game.
Yeah. I'm not seeing December 31st on here. Date modified? What? Oh, I
Uh,
just saved. Okay, I got it. I got it.
yeah, you like just changed the name. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Okay, there you are.
cool. How are your holidays?
Pretty good. I just called my family. Other than that, I've been playing Rocket League. So.
Mm, nice and easy.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Alrighty. Okay. I'm still sharing my screen, right?
Right.
And you can see me
Yes.
draw.
Yep.
Alright, cool. Let's do it. The reason you lose this kickoff so bad is because you're hitting into the side of the ball.
Okay.
Remember, we want to be centered. You see how off to the side you are?
Yeah.
So all kickoff is a physics equation. When two
Uh-huh.
people hit the ball at the same time, well, this goes for any 50, but when two people hit the ball at the same time, the ball is going to go to the path of least resistance, which is why we want to be centered because that creates no path of least resistance. We want to be center height, center mass, so that the ball doesn't like lose. Because when you approach it this way, this guy is more center than you are, so the path of least resistance is this way.
Yeah.
So that's why he loses kickoff. However, you just want to be mindful of that. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, it's cool to pick up pads here. Just be mindful that you want to get wider a bit quicker than this. Because you're mid flip, like flipping back to your net while your opponent's touching it. Let's say this touch was better from your opponent. Let's say he hit it more back. Um, like he hit it more this way. This would be kind of hard to reach and then actually slam it. And it would be especially bad if this guy was ready instead of getting boost.
Uh-huh.
So you just want to be mindful of going close to the play like this. Like, yeah, you should be grabbing pads after you're done with kickoff here, but you might want to grab this pad and then just like don't flip, but just drive more left and wide and then widen out and come back around to the ball.
Gotcha.
Dude, make a nice power slide and slam it though, which is nice. Yeah, so I think your rotation's funny here. Alright, so when you land here, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm in somewhat of a 1v1 scenario, and depending on what happens, I could try to. I mean, okay, right now I have no boost, so I'm trying to catch up to the ball, applying pressure while
Mm-hmm.
collecting boosts. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So once he jumps, what are you thinking now?
I need to be prepared to go back,
Sure. Um, any other
depending on
priorities?
his touch. I don't know, just get a boost and try to stay flexible and wait for his touch.
Yeah, get boost, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
go for his corner, that's not there. Um, so here, when you flip forward and this happens, well, I guess even when you initially bang it, what kind of touch is your opponent going to get when he's backwards to the ball?
He's gonna hit it to one of the corners, not that hard, I'd assume.
Right. He's going to hit it softly and keep it in his side, right?
Right.
So what does that mean for you?
I'm not sure.
It means you have plenty of time to path the way you want in order to secure a boost.
Okay.
Because the ball's not getting transitioned quickly, right? It'd be one thing if he was jumping from his. Okay, I just switched. Jumping from his side at the ball and about to send it this way, right? That'd be different.
Yeah.
But because the ball's going this way and he's backwards to it, we know we have time. So as you're moving up the field, you should be looking for which one of these boosts is available.
Okay.
Which is this one, right?
Right.
Which obviously you didn't look at because you kind of just guessed what would be there. Um, so you just went to the wrong corner.
Yeah.
So here we pop it high. He jumps, so we can't get it again. I'm gonna just go for the right corner boost because it looked like
Okay.
you maybe were trying to predict which side he was gonna hit it to. Like you thought he'd hit it left because he jumped from the right side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Which would indicate that you were trying to look to play the ball instead of just grab boost. Because like in this spot, you just can't do anything with the ball. You should just grab boost and let your teammate follow.
Gotcha.
Okay, I like the bump. I don't like that you leave the ball. So you bump him, and then here the touch is free. You
Yeah.
just kind of speed flip past it and leave it. Oh, your teammate's AFK. But either way, like knowing he's AFK or not, like here instead of just speed flipping, you can just keep driving, right?
Yeah.
And then if you see one of them hustling to hit the ball, then you speed flip into the ball.
Makes sense.
Yeah, this was just a little rushed. Not really thinking about
Yeah.
the rotation back. And I don't know why he's AFK.
He comes back. I remember this now. I didn't know this was this replay.
Yeah, good. It was only for a few seconds. Doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep, you're starting to push up because your teammate. Yeah, I like this wide positioning. Yeah, I think your position is good here. Your teammate. This is why eyes darting to opponents and teammates is important because look how obvious this pass is right here, right?
Yeah.
This is a goal every time. This is something we all miss when we're playing if we're not paying attention. So, yeah, I like your positioning. I like that you're ready for a pass. Doesn't happen though. So, once this pass doesn't happen,
That
you're a little close.
this is something I need to work on. When that ball slams into the wall there,
Mm-hmm.
I constantly find myself misreading that.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's usually tough because of bad positioning and like being in the spot to have to hit it that way in the first place more than anything. So like here,
Okay.
once the pass doesn't happen, you need to reposition a bit faster because you see how close you are still all this time. And now you're
Yeah.
finally turned around. That's what makes this read so hard. You should have turned around like quicker and like a second ago.
You think I should have turned around the other direction, like to the right?
No, not necessarily. Um,
Okay.
I think once I see this, what I'm gonna do, as soon as I see him pop it away, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna turn back this way if I see like a challenge that's gonna stay in their side happen, and if I see a challenge that goes this way, I'm just gonna turn out and grab it.
Okay.
That wasn't quite as deep as I'd do it though. I didn't draw that quite well. It would be more like this.
Maybe a half flip would work,
You could half flip.
or is that too slow?
Um, I think half flipping also accomplishes it. You could go here too. I think either
Okay,
is fine. And like when the ball's moving this slowly in front of their box, I don't feel a rush.
for sure.
Yeah. But the only thing I feel a rush to do per se is not be this close. So my next
Gotcha.
movement is some sort of coming back this way, whether it's either of those, and then end up getting faced back towards the play in a flexible spot, which you know how to do. So that's why this is so over your head because you just kind of linger here too long. Um, Now, when you're here, yeah, going for a pinch on this is fine. Obviously, it's bad if you miss it. Um, the way to go for this is to wait to jump as long as possible. You jump um, a little bit prematurely before you turn, which is why you miss. You just don't turn enough. Again, a symptom
Okay.
of being like at a bad angle. But here you need to turn first and then jump late. Like you should be jumping when the ball's almost about to hit the wall. And you should be like here.
Okay.
And that way, there basically almost is no read to make because the ball's almost touching the ground already. When you jump from
Gotcha.
here, you're fighting against your initial momentum going this way, and you're not quite sure where the ball's going to land, which is why you miss this. So then do better at that, you want to wait longer to jump at it. Wait till it's almost touching the wall and be turning in at it, and then that makes it much easier.
Okay.
Good, I like that you're bumping on your way back. That saved the goal, probably. Yeah, you just messed up the catch here. Um, Here, you need to make sure you just get under it earlier. You wait too far
Mm-hmm.
behind it, and then that causes you to not be able to catch it because you don't have the boost to
Yeah.
like make up for it. I do like your decision to single jump challenge this here instead of like flipping into it with 0. I really like this decision, and then the wave dash to go again is fine. Even though that pinches back literally at your net, it gives your teammate possession. It's really not bad at all. Actually, quite good. A little slow to move up here.
Yeah, I recognize that too.
Yeah, it's just like right here, you know this is your teammate's ball. So I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's really slight, and you do it rush up here anyway, and you're in a fine spot. I think that's more of a nitpick than anything. Yeah, and you're in time to score. Good. Now, let me see this cheat. Good. You're ending up in a. Remember last time you were a little bit far away.
Yeah,
The
I
weight.
tried to drive a split second more.
Yep. You drove a split second more and you used a little bit more boost, and you ended up when they contacted it like in this like in between. Perfect. This is exactly where you want to be.
Wait.
Yeah, waiting here is fine. That's a interesting idea. To try to like back pass it to your teammate here. I'm assuming that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little too cute though. Your teammate, you're gonna be hard pressed for your teammate to be ready for that kind of thing. Um, I'd
Yeah,
rather you just.
I
Sorry,
wasn't
go ahead.
expecting him to be so close.
Yeah, but even then, like I don't know how much angle he has to work with on when it's this far right, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's not gonna be behind you. He's gonna be like behind you in mid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a
I see
cool
what you mean.
idea. Like I understand it. But in twos here, what I'd much prefer you do is just try to drive this as close as possible, then flick it. You have a good chance to score doing that. Like drive as close as possible, then diagonal flip to try to get it. Diagonal flick to try to get it top left.
Okay.
And why top left? Because you see one guy going backward on the right and one guy on the ground on the left. Sorry, going backboard, not backward. Backboard on the right, down the ground on the left. You want to go top left.
Okay.
Or if you make him wait long enough and he moves to go to the left, you flick it top right, depending on where he goes. But yeah, you're just watching the defenders there for where to flick. Okay, good. I like that you stayed grounded there until you made a decision. Okay, I really like your decision to grab boost here. I like that you're just kind of trusting that this won't be dangerous and that your teammate, you're not going to be able to affect the play anyway if you don't have boost. So you go for boost. This I like. Yes, it's inherently slightly dangerous, but I think it's even more dangerous to rush back to net with 0.
Yeah.
Here, I think you could be looking for a bump on your way back. Like, here, trying to bump this guy coming down in your corner.
Okay.
Same thing, right? Like, you can't affect the ball right now, so you should kill him.
Got it. Got it.
Here, you're trying to pass, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just hit a little too hard.
Yep, I like the pass here. The way to make this pass better is to not jump this early. Stay on the ground longer.
Gotcha.
The longer you can stay on the ground and let this ball fall a little bit more, it makes it easier for you to single jump and like air roll shoot this at your teammate instead of jumping and then trying to
Okay.
air roll around the ball.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's going to make it better. And the reason you know that you can let this ball fall is because of what you've seen in the play, right? You see this guy coming back out of his side, and you could still see him on your screen, and you've got the one guy you just challenged on your side. You could see him down there.
Uh-huh.
So you have time on this. And then if you see your opponent break and then turn, or like break and then like try to stay close, then you jump right away and just try to go over him.
Okay.
Okay, that's unlucky. Literally nothing you can do about that. This normally is going right at you and it's a free touch, but that's also the worst post bounce possible. Yeah,
Yeah, I
don't
was
even
so
worry about that.
confused.
Yeah, that's nothing you can do. Okay, looks like you're trying to lose it back left. That's fine. Okay, teammate should have stayed on that. You should cut in now. Yep, good. Fake challenge, I like. Good positioning. So, I want you to see how easy that you made this for yourself by positioning this way. I really like this fake challenge. Good. You were never reaching this, and your teammate was in no spot to follow up, so you didn't run through. I think this is the perfect decision here. And then he hits it back, you speed flip back, and you pick up a pad, and now you don't know quite where this bounce is going, and you don't know if your teammate has it, so you cut your momentum, and you stay driving speed back post, and now look how easy this is. That was all really good. That was very aware. Now, your teammate should probably just leave this for you, and this should be the setup out of the realistic air dribble spat, kinda, where it comes off,
Yeah.
and you can kind of create your own, but honestly, his pop is not bad for you, so. If he is going to touch it, this is probably the touch to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then here you jump, and you don't really have the boost to do anything but shoot. I think that's fine. What I would do, given that you have 60 boost, though, like if I were to say, okay, you can make this better, is actually wait longer. So drive underneath this until you see someone actually turn to challenge you.
Okay.
If you have 100 boost, I'm like, yeah, jump up and like air dribble, like catch it. But with 60, you can't do that. You can't make it all the way to the net. So here you should actually wait on the ground underneath it. Wait for someone to like act like they're going to challenge and then jump.
Okay.
Because
I
obviously if
see
you
what you
jump
mean.
right now, yeah, you just can't like do anything and that'll actually be a scoring threat. But your recovery is relatively quick. Yeah, okay, so here's a spot where you should be bumping again.
Mm.
Right? You can't affect the ball here. You should be, you're looking at,
That's a free bump.
yeah, you're
And then
looking
it's
at the
free
play right
net.
now. Yeah, this guy's super free to bump, right? So, yeah, you just got to keep that in mind. That's something that's presented itself a few times now. You're not, on your rotation back, you're not looking for bumps still quite enough.
Okay.
Okay, here I think you should be playing for his boost. So, like, once you get to this spot, so we know we have two people behind us, right? Our teammate and our opponent.
Yeah.
Where's this ball bouncing?
Somewhere where your cursor is.
Yeah, it's going to go up here and down, right?
Yeah.
So we know that here, and we see this guy flipping back. Well, if the ball is bouncing down like this, do you feel like it's going to get transition fast?
I mean, I don't really know. I feel like it could if he like drives up the wall and jumps up the wall and bangs it, but I'm not really sure.
Considering where he is, he can't. If he was already here, then yeah, sure. But he's just be flipping back now. This ball is going to be like down here by the time he gets here.
Okay.
So, and you know this because of what you just saw as you're rotating back.
Oh yeah.
Because look, this ball gets hit and he's up here, right?
Uh
So,
huh.
given that information, the ball's in their corner softly and the ball can't be transitioned fast. When you turn here, I do not want you to wait for you to go right here and wait while he collects the ball and then does something with it and then you challenge. What I'd rather you do is you turn here, you speed flip, you grab the boost from him, and then you try to either bump him if it's available, or if it's not, you fake challenge him and then you redo the whole thing. But this time you have 100 instead of 0 here.
Okay.
And the
Makes sense.
reason, yeah, good.
I think I was thinking, okay, maybe the ball bounces off the ceiling and then bounces on the ground and like pops up from the ground.
hmm I think even then, I
Yeah.
think you have time to do it. I think even then, you have time to grab this boost and then play defense
Okay.
because of where he is, right? Like I said, if he's already set up back here, I wouldn't do that because he's just going to move the ball past you fast and then like your teammate's in a 2v1. But because your
Yeah.
opponent isn't ready to transition the ball quickly, you have time to speed flip, grab this boost, and deny him from that boost and then play defense, whether that's a bump, whether that's a fake challenge, or whether that's swinging back around and then challenge him here because he hugged it on the wall. So
Okay.
that's why. So those are just the things you need to be looking out for as you rotate back. One, the bumps, but two, just where your opponents are in general and how dangerous the ball is for you versus them. And that should decide if I go for boost, if I challenge, if I bump, right?
Right.
Now we're in the spot where we challenge and, you know, even this, I know it looks like your team's doing something, but it's not dangerous for your opponents at all.
Gotcha.
Because you see how you guys both just kind of smack the ball around in the corner, and now it's their ball.
Uh huh.
You don't want to get in this, like, kind of motion. Yeah, it's a bad bounce, but you approach it wrong. Um, so once the ball is hit this way, this should read to you as an unclear bounce. You don't know where on the wall. You don't know if it's going to go slightly above and come out. You don't know if it's going to hit in here and go up. You don't know if it's going to hit below and roll. You don't know. So what you
You're
want
right.
to do, in the same way it was in the other wall where you mentioned, like where you struggle with these, this is kind of a similar bounce. You wait longer to jump and you just approach it where you think it's about to bounce ish, right? It could be any one of these things, but if you approach it staying grounded and then just cut into it and jump, you'll cover all of these.
Yeah, like as soon as it touches, I'm there.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, it's good to go for this. It's a free ball, but yeah, you just have to approach it the right way. You see, you cut like what you end up doing with the way you approach this is you end up just like not cutting in fast enough here. Like this ball's heading to that spot quickly, so you should already be like boosting to the spot. And if you're too late and you can't physically get there in time, then you shouldn't go at all.
Gotcha.
So like if you find yourself in this spot like here and you're just so far away, don't go. Just let it bounce, turn away, and play
You think
defense.
you think here I should have just let it bounce or try to play the touch?
At this point, you
I
should
mean
let
the
it
bounce.
bounce.
Okay.
If you had reacted quicker to what was happening, so like say right here you hadn't cut out to the right, like here you shouldn't have cut out to the right as well because nothing about
Yeah.
this indicated that. Like say you
But
had just gone straight back and then he hit it that way, you definitely would have been close enough to go get it.
yeah, I don't know why I was thinking that. I don't know why I was thinking to turn right because they're obviously both facing the left side of the field. It's going left.
Yeah, sometimes we just do little movements on accident. That's probably the best explanation. Luckily, this isn't a goal. Your opponents rush themselves. Yeah, here you recognize bump late. Right, guys in your corner. You're rotating back.
Yeah.
You can't affect the ball. Should be bumping. Yeah, I don't like speeding up the play here at all. So, right here, what do we see?
Um, all three players are right here.
hmm
I'm last man.
Yep.
I mean, I my teammate has no boost.
Yeah. So what do those things indicate to you?
I need to buy time.
Exactly. Right. So when you go and boost into this all the way using all your boosts and then hit it down at this guy's zone of control, I'd consider that not good. Right.
Yeah.
So you should move up to this, but then you shouldn't hit it. You should let it like stay near you as it rolls down, and then you just play something that buys time, some sort of 50, right? Or if you can possibly catch it into a flick that goes over this guy, that's best case, but usually that won't roll this way. Um, yeah, you want to do something that buys time, so you should drive up to it and stay behind it, but you drive up to it and hit it forward, which gives your opponent an easy touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now you do come back quickly. Again, this is another spot you should be bumping. I know you're 0, but look how free this bump is. So now you're just
Yeah.
driving into net, not affecting anything, instead of having gotten the bump on him, and then you could have also ended up in net around the same time, but, you know, having bumped the guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Luckily that's the goal. Good, you have him clean beat. Yeah, so I like that you're going for this. I like you have the confidence to beat him, which is it's a better bounce for you, so you should go. But here, once you get to this spot and you touch it this way, these are always bouncing down.
Mm.
This kind of lipped area, so I was gonna go pretty much straight down, or maybe slightly out and down. But it's I was gonna go down. So when you let me ask you, when you touch it like this isn't the first touch you want, right? It didn't set you up for double touch. Um,
Right.
when you touch it like this and it's kind of going too high and too close to their backboard, what should you do? What's your goal?
I don't really have that much experience with this,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm trying to just hit the left side of the ball so it goes mid.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
I disagree. The reason I disagree is because if you try to put this mid, what it's going to do is it's going to hug the wall and go right down to this guy.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do with this ball, if I mistouch it like this, is keep it away from this guy. So I'm going to try to like pancake it with the backboard and stay on it. Um, and by pancake, I mean like put all 4 of my wheels on it and try to get a reset and stay on it. Or
Okay.
I'm going to abandon the play entirely, let it bounce off and come out this way, but prioritize my recovery, land on the wall, and just get back.
Gotcha.
I just don't. My touch wasn't good enough. I don't want to be greedy and try to send it this way because if it's hugging the wall and going down, which it does, then you can't get it out hard enough to be anywhere where this guy can't get it, and then you're putting your teammate in a bad spot.
Okay.
Okay, you grab pads, but I don't like it. I don't like that you're rotating this way. So when you're rotating back here, you don't want to rotate same side as your teammate because you're clumping up with their zone, right?
Yeah.
Look where you and your teammate are.
Yeah, I should have gone more wide.
Yeah, exactly. You should be prioritizing wide here. So here, instead of flipping back this way, you should flip back this way. And then once you've picked up a few pads here, you need to cover the midfield, not go back to net. Because when you rotate back here, what's going to happen is that your opponent's going to be controlling the ball. Your teammate's going to be shadowing that control, right? So your teammate's going to have this area and probably the net if he shoots. And what you need to do is flip back this way, pick up a pad or two, and then try to cut off any sort of pass that could happen. So your teammate gets these 2 things, and you get this side.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I remember getting up close to him and it feeling awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah, it was awkward. You kind of rushing back because they're on a counterattack. I know you need to get back quick, but when you're coming back, like so you've got your teammate behind you shadowing what's happening with the ball. Your job is to occupy midfield and cut off passes because you can't affect the net or the backboard, right?
Right.
So you need to affect what you can, cover what he can't, which is the midfield.
Okay.
So yeah, I think your worst habit right now is the way you're rotating back in general. You're not bumping enough. You're not quite aware enough of where you need to be. So here I don't like where you are. So you're like turning and drifting in the net while your opponent's touching it. And again, we're kind of vacating the midfield a little bit here. Once we're here and we've picked up these pads, I want you to like it doesn't have to be this extreme. It could be something like this. You shouldn't feel the need in that kind of spot to cover the backside of your net. It could never go there in this configuration.
Okay.
What you want to be covering is like this near side and middle area. So I'd rather you just stay driving speed and do this.
Okay.
And you know to do that because of the way that your teammate has the ball. He's grabbing the corner boost, and your opponent is, chasing it from an angle that isn't preferable. Like, this isn't dangerous. So, like, going in a net doesn't make sense. It just makes you kind of late to this, and now your opponent has it for free, and he can keep it in. Okay, this is extremely awkward.
Yeah.
It is your ball at this point, but you've both kind of, like, clumped up with each other a few times here. This challenge is fine. I would maybe prioritize beating him a little bit more, though. Like, here, like, you have him so beat. So, the way to approach a bounce like this, so this bounce is coming off the corner and then out at you, right?
Yeah.
What's the best way to create multiple touches on this ball?
The like the diagonal flip and land on the wall, flip it high.
Yeah, so you want to be underneath it. You want to turn in. You want to get face so that when you jump and like do like a diagonal flip or a side flip, depending on where you are with it, that momentum takes you to the wall, but then this ball also went high and this way so you could land on the wall and follow it, right?
Right.
So that's the way you want to approach. You want to turn in, you want to pop with a diagonal or side flip high up the wall, and that momentum will take you up the wall with it, and then you'll be able to follow it again at least once.
The multi-touch shot.
Yep. And you just want to especially do that when an opponent is challenging you. If someone's waiting up on the wall, you don't really want to do that, but if someone's going at you on the ground, you want to do that. You guys have kind of put yourself in a conundrum here. Yeah, you just kind of, at that point, with all those mistakes, you kind of have to accept if you're scored on there. Not really much to do. And then here, in order to block this, you don't want to jump and flip, you want to double jump.
Okay.
Double jump here.
Alright.
Fortunate he does not hit that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You recognize a little late that you shouldn't be crowding with your teammate again. Like, yes, I know he's no boost, and it feels like you should be the next to go, but you just can't keep bunching up with him, right?
Right.
Because the play your teammate makes is fine. He does get dunked, which isn't ideal, but he is speed flipping to take the ball in the boost. Like, that's the right play. And if you were a bit better positioned here instead of being this close, then this might be an easier, like, challenge for you. But I really like the way you take it. I really like that you don't feel like super in danger here, and you just let this come down to you. That I like. Yeah, too hesitant though here. So now, once you have the ball here, I want you jumping off the wall, and I want you like doing this as a wall shot, jumping off and like trying to diagonal flip to this at the net.
Gotcha.
Because there's no way to control it here. This guy is too close. And the reason I'm saying to do that is because he's close. And he looks ready to challenge you if you let this ball come down.
Yeah.
If he was all the way
Which is
back
what
at net,
happens.
I'd say take your time. Right? Okay, you need one more touch on this. Couldn't. Yep. You need to be a bit more ready to cover mid here. Again, so I like the way you reposition here, but once you get to this point, I'm kind of worried about mid pass.
Okay.
So again, your teammate has this like backboard and net area. Once you saw your teammate turn back, that should have been your cue to cover mid. If your teammate continues this way, you do need to cover the net.
Gotcha.
Yep, good. Use your downtime to get boost. Can't go there. I like that. Yep, this is fine. You're buying a bunch of time for your teammate. I That touch is okay. Um, I don't like rushing it into the corner where they both are that much.
Okay.
I think it's better to just let this keep rolling at you and like hug it with the wall. So let it keep rolling and then bring it with on the wall with you.
All right.
Because I see them both rushing into the corner. I don't really want to hit it there away from me. Um, it just feels a little bit risky because I don't know how well of a read they're going to have on that. Granted, you do go fast enough to get it. Is a little dangerous, but if you can, if the follow up is this quick, it's okay. I just find that a little bit more dangerous than letting it come to you at the wall. Did you bump here? There, that's good. Grab his boost. Okay, you didn't get the boost, but this is the right play. Like, you don't have a play on the ball anymore, so this is run through, right?
Right.
Right. So you just missed the boost, but that was the right play. That would have been a great like stealing shot opportunity if you had gotten that boost. And it looks like you jumped off the wall thinking you had that. Maybe.
I'm trying to do something, yeah.
Yeah, so here, once you don't get the boost, just leave the ball.
Okay.
You just can't affect it anymore, right? Any touch you get is going to be lofted to your opponents. Or miss. So,
Yeah.
once you don't get that boost, you just want to leave it. Again, rotating a little bit too much near your side, which is why you end up in this bad. So even though you get bumped here, once you land,
Turn left.
turn this way, right?
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, the way you're rotating back is probably your biggest weakness right now. Because now, when this ball gets hit across and kind of on the backside of the net, it's really awkward, right?
Right.
Okay, I like what you did here. I like that you didn't flip and kind of just let them challenge you. But here, once he hits it past you, don't turn same side in your corner. Because there's nothing to do over here for you. You have 0 boost.
Okay.
Go the other way. So, I need to back up a little bit. Once you just let him go, which is good, it's the same thing as a run through without the bump part, right? You're running through, you're not affecting the ball, you're letting him hit it past you, and then you should rotate this way. And depending on how dangerous it is, if this guy hits it to your teammate and your teammate has it for free, you should feel free to go get the mid. If this
Okay.
guy hits it past you and he still has some sort of control or it's slightly dangerous, you should just grab this pad and turn around. And then you'll be on a path with other pads. But when you turn back in the corner, you just keep yourself really low boost, and it's really awkward. Right, see, look at this. Okay, he should let you have that. Shouldn't be rushing it downfield. Okay. You and your teammate have like no chem.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, that challenge is fine. Yep, that challenge is good too. You have plenty of time to grab the mid boost here. You rush. So, I see so much space here, and I don't see a way to, like, score. Like, you did your best possible way. Like, this, in terms of putting it on net, this is the best thing you could have done, and it still wasn't a goal. So, I much prefer you land here. You just stay on the ground, drive, grab this boost, let this bounce off the wall, and then do something.
Okay.
Just use your space more, because this is super rushed for how much space you have.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to just keep up the speed of the play.
Yeah,
Fast.
I do understand that because you're on a counterattack, but the way that you beat him all the way to the side, it's going to take too long to ever score right away, really.
Yeah.
Your play, okay, I will say your play is not bad, especially after you get his corner boost from him, but let's say your flip wasn't perfect and you didn't get the corner from him, I'd say this is bad.
Gotcha.
Okay, teammate has the ball for free. Yep, your positioning's fine there. A little risky. Your teammate's stuck in the corner with 0, right?
Yeah.
If this guy's just a little bit more aware and isn't taking such a wide angle to the ball, that 50 might work out much poorer for you. I'm kind of inclined to fake challenge in a spot like this. You see how close he looks?
Yeah.
That could easily be
I
him
just felt
slightly
like
closer.
if I didn't go, like if I didn't touch it or go for it, like it was over my head. Like he's just gonna volley this ball and then his teammates downfield already. Like if I don't touch this ball right now, I'm screwed. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I can understand it, but if you fake challenge here, you're back in plenty of time. Like right here, you make this feign forward and then turn like this, you'll be back.
Okay.
There's no way for this ball bouncing low off this corner, really, for him to transition it fast enough past you. It's basically impossible.
All right.
But I like the way you do challenge it. I like that you're blocking that side. It kind of goes across. Oh, God. So this is the value, by the way, of not getting dunked and, like, doing things to not get dunked. Like, what he should do here is once this ball bounces past him, he should let it go past him a bit more and then hit it left to you. Or just flick it
Yeah.
over this guy now. But instead he goes forward, which gets him dunked, and then this is really awkward. Should be a goal. Yeah, you guys are actually really fortunate not to lose this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you watching the cheat on this?
Yeah, I just didn't get far enough left to be able to actually hit it right.
Yep. So on these, when I see my opponent do this, what I do is I go across the ball and then I side flip into it to send it this way.
I found I tried doing that, but I found that I just we just lose it like so hard to the point where the ball like rolls up at our back right corner boost,
Mm-hmm.
rolls up to the ceiling and then down for like right in front of the net.
Yeah, that would happen if you're too much off to the side and barely making contact. You need to really, it's
Okay.
like you want to do that, but mostly like center mass. Like left center mass instead of center center.
And I just haven't perfected it. So I don't know. I just chose to go with like I wasn't consistently flipping like enough through the ball trying to
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
So I just stopped.
I mean, the way you do it's fine if you get more left. Because this does have the chance to like lose, but your opponent was just too centered on it, I think. Like if he had done a normal like lose, I think this doesn't do this. It looked like he was super center. Maybe he didn't realize what his teammate was doing. Yeah, look how centered he is.
It was. Yeah,
If
he
he
like
if he
literally
tries to
did
lose
it.
that, then it's gonna lose, and you're putting your teammate in a bad spot. So this is actually a rare spot where you shouldn't pick up a pad. um, so right here, kills. You see that? What you should do, what we know, this guy went for kickoff with you. These two are the cheats, right? So you're both going to be 0 or really low boost.
Hmm.
Instead of widening out super far and trying to get a pad and come back, you need to turn right here and play this
Okay.
bounce. See how taking it this far away, you can't reach it still?
I
I
should
don't
just
know.
try to put this on net right
Yeah,
away.
yeah. You just try to slam it.
Gotcha.
But I like that, it's fortunate, really fortunate he misses. But once he does, I like that you're able to corral this within as like a second and then diagonal flick it. That's awesome. Good. I was very aware not to get bumped there. Great. Okay, you made this harder on yourself than it needed to be. So
Yeah.
here's another spot where you just want to wait. Like, look at where your opponents are, right? Mid flip, going back, guy just went. You have so much time to let this bounce out, but you jump right away. You should let this come out to you, stay on the ground, and then make a play.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just rushing a little bit,
Yep, and
like overall in the whole game.
Yeah. And this, by the way, you actually are full stop when you jump, which makes this even worse. Even if you do jump here, you still can get like a maybe a double touch opportunity if you jump a little bit better with a bit more momentum. But you had like full broken, uh, or braked
Yeah,
before.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you'd already had hit the brakes before you jumped at this, which caused you have to use even more boost just to reach it, which is why you're
Mhm.
zero by the time you reach it, right? So
Yeah.
no real reason to cut in front of your teammate here. So you grab the boost, which is fine. But right when you get here, you need to get out of your way. Your teammate has a way better angle at this than you do, right? You have to
Yeah.
turn all the way around to get even to his angle. You need to just move out of the way here.
Uh-huh. And that cut was watching it back now, it does look very ambitious.
Yeah, for sure. No ways, just in, right? Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is GC1.
Yeah. It really makes you appreciate how beatable everyone is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, your biggest bad habit is the way you're rotating back. Too ball side too often, and you're not bumping enough on your way back. And then
Got it.
in terms of your touches, you're rushing when you have space. Like when the ball's in the air and no one can challenge, you're just jumping. Um, yeah, in the air, you have in the time in the instances where you have more time, you need to be, you know, less rushed, and that comes from being ultra aware of where your opponents are. There are a lot of times in that game I can tell you were very aware, and then other times where you weren't, and it depended on kind of where the ball was. When the ball's high in the air, I know it's kind of tough to keep your eyes on your opponents, but you know where the ball is when it's in the air. You know where it's going, just like as if it's on the ground. So you just have to be better at
Hmm.
using your peripheral in those instances to keep track of your opponents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say I bumped, like, did you see an increase in bumping, but I need more or no?
Uh, there were a few times where you ran through, you didn't actually successfully get the bumper the demo, but you did. But it's still overall not enough.
Okay.
That along with the not rushing yourself, along and like the realistic air dribbles training that I'm talking about, along with the way you rotate back, which is also a bump thing as well, is really your priority. That will really continue to help you.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
all I got for you. Then, see any questions?
No, that's all.
Sweet.
Just send the VOD whenever you can.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good night.
Yep. You too. I'll see you next time.
I see ya.
Yep. Bye bye.